Ogari Nasai Minasan. Today we're gonna talk about Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger episode 15 before watching Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger episode 15. Without further ado, let us start off with the trailer. Let's go.
次回王様戦隊キングオージャー。
和平交渉がしたい。
スズメ殿は良いのですか。
ラクレスの城で人質になってる。
てめえが城に潜入してカグラギの妹を奪ってこい。
騎士となりて地に降り立つ。
This is gonna be a really interesting episode because we are actually kind of like finally gonna focus a lot more on Kaguragi Dybowski, because so far I really felt like this character has not been properly explained, like why he kept on siding with Rakles. At the beginning we thought that he is just thinking in like the best thing for his country, so he is actually helping Rakles because he actually saw that Rakles still hold most power, but that is not the fact. Okay, right now that Gira is actually still alive, and also with the introduction of Jeremy Brassier, obviously Dybowski don't need to ally himself with the sugar dam with Rakles anymore. But we learned also in a few episodes ago that his sister is currently in the possession of Rakles itself. Why is the sister there? We are not sure. How the hell did it end up in a hostage situation is also a big question mark. But the next episode we are actually gonna see the Ohsama Sentai team going there to kind of like figure out how they can actually save Dybowski's sister, and why even Dybowski's sister is being held by Rakles in the first place. Okay, so all of this thing is really fun, and there's also another possibility here that I'm actually seeing. Like I don't know why, but I keep sensing that there could actually be a possibility that we're gonna have a ranger death in this series. There is gonna be one of the ranger is gonna die, and then we are gonna see a passing of torch or some sort going on, something like that. So I really felt like the one, at first I thought that it could actually be Rita, but seeing how famous Rita is right now with the fandom and all those stuff, I don't think they're gonna kill off Rita, because the reason why I suspect Rita is because Morophonia name literally is the butterfly of the Gokhan. And Gokhan Sugar is a butterfly itself, is the Morpho butterfly. So that is why I always thought that maybe Rita is gonna be the replacement, is gonna be kicked out of the group, and Morophonia is gonna join the ranger. That is what I thought, at least. But after seeing what happened here with Dybowski, with the introduction of the sister, there is a possibility where we are gonna see Dybowski dying in the series, and we are actually gonna see the sister becoming the new Black Ranger of the series itself. But that is just a theory. I don't know why, but ever since the first episode I always felt like there is a possibility that someone would actually die, and that is why I actually have that theory on someone could actually be dead and being replaced. Okay, so with that being said, let us take a look at the trailer scene by scene to figure out what we can learn from the trailer. So first we open the episode next episode preview with Jeremy once again. Like he is really like heading the direction of the plot right now. Like every single thing that is happening in the plot revolves around him. So that is kind of interesting, because if you really think about it, they actually use like one episode to introduce every single ranger, and now Jeremy has been introduced for 2 episodes ago. Right now every single episode all has been focusing on introducing Jeremy more and more, like introducing his suit, introducing his background, introducing his tarantula, and next episode we are actually gonna see the tarantula becoming humanoid form itself. So that is something really exciting. But moving forward, I would say the biggest question here is like, who is Jeremy approaching? Who is Jeremy trying to talk to right now? Because it almost seems like, based on the next scenes, it almost seems like Jeremy is talking to Rackless and Dybowski here. So there is a possibility that this is what Jeremy is talking to, or something like that. We are not sure, okay? But the next big thing that really surprised all of us is definitely Rackless is actually meeting up with the Emperor of Bugnarak, which is Emperor Desanara. Okay, Desanara and Rackless are meeting with one another, and based on the set design here, this is definitely the place where Jeremy actually came in, and maybe this is what Jeremy actually wanted. Jeremy wanted peace between human and Bugnarak, so there is a huge possibility that he is gonna be the one that is gonna mediate this entire negotiation of peace itself. But then again, I just want to say this location that we are seeing here is a really the Toei, you really like this location for their shoot itself. There's a lot of scene like in different shows, like not only Toei, like in even other series in Japan, this is one of the set that they really love to use. So every single time when you saw this place, just know this is a famous set place. Okay, so with that being said, let me move on to the next thing. The next thing is a close-up shot of Rackless, and then we get to see a really funky shot of Dybowski. He looks really pale. He looks like he's fainting, something like that. So we are not sure what really happening, what is really happening right here. Maybe the sister is not a gentle girl that we thought she is, but maybe the girl is someone that can actually like take down Dybowski really easily, something like that. That is just a theory, by the way. But let me move on to the next thing, and that is this scene of the sugar dam, like showing the castle that Rackless is actually in. By the way, I think this is kind of like an establishing shot of the entire sugar dam before cutting to the girl itself. This girl, all of us know, is Suzume, if not mistaken, the sister of Dybowski. Okay, like I said, we are not sure why is he here, but it is really interesting to see her being introduced in the story itself. Okay, but with that being said, another thing that I wanted to talk about is the side character for Gira. Okay, it's been a while since we saw Kogane, so what is going on with Kogane, man? Like we are not sure, but the rest of the side character of the other rangers seems to be appearing more and more. Like we get to see a lot of Sebastian, we get to see a lot of Shokara, we get to see a lot of Morphonia. So all of this side character is having screen time, but where is my girl Kogane, man? Give her some more screen time. But with that being said, let me move on to the next scene. The next scene is a close-up shock face of all the kings itself, and I felt like this is when someone actually revealed to them that the sister of Dybowski is being held hostage in the castle of Rackless itself. I'm really curious to see what Rita is gonna do, because Rita is supposed to represent like the neutral, the perfect neutral of the group. So I'm not sure how is she gonna react to all of these things, but it is still really interesting to see how they are gonna do this. Okay, but with that being said, let me move on. This is nothing new, nothing special. This is just kind of like action scene, so I'm just gonna quickly move through it. And this is really interesting, okay, because we actually get to see Gira this time is actually disguising himself as one of the Shugots to actually move around the city, because remember, Gira right now is still presumed dead to the rest of the world. Only a couple of few people actually knows that Gira is actually still alive. Okay, so that is really interesting. But next thing we get to see who the hell is I think this is the sister of Dybowski. It almost seems like what is happening to her, like she's hurt, she's definitely suffering, she's screaming, but what is happening? That is the question that I think all of us need to ask. Maybe, okay, is she giving birth to the son, to the kid of Rackless? Would Toei do this? I don't know, man. Like there is a possibility, but she is definitely hurt. Maybe this is the reason why she is staying with Reckless right now. But next scene is amazing because we actually get to see Tarantula humanoid form in action. Okay, the action scene is really subarashi. And next we get to see Dybowski stopping the rest of the king from leaving. We are not sure why. Maybe like the rest of the king is here to confront Reckless, but Dybowski seems to have his own reason to support Reckless. Okay, so we just have to wait and see what is that reason. Next we get to see more action scene, more God Tarantula flying around, speeding through. This is really amazing. We get to see Tarantula using the centipede, but we don't actually get to see Cicada here, so I'm not sure what sort of power up actually Cicada is gonna give to Tarantula, but it is definitely one that is gonna be really amazing. Okay, but let me move on. Okay, so we get to see a close-up shot of Dybowski, and that is the end of the trailer. What can I say, man? Like this next episode is one that I'm really interested to see how things are gonna go. Like how are they gonna shoot things, how are they gonna do things, because introducing Dybowski's sister here seems like a really bold move, because but at the same time they need to introduce someone personal to Dybowski, because so far Dybowski is the only one that don't really have anyone close to him, doesn't really have a reason for us to love him, a reason for us to care for him, something like that. So that is something that I'm really excited for Dybowski, because he deserves more screen time, and like, he really deserves more screen time. But that is all from me. Hope you enjoy what you see here. If you like what you see, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.